One thing that I prided myself on, which I've mentioned in other videos, is the fact that of all the blogs out there and the political commentators, the public speakers, those who voice their opinions, I may not be the smartest, I may not be someone who is good at collecting statistics and analyzing them, I'm not that great at using the normal or going about the normal protocol that other news organizations may have at their disposal. But one thing I do pride myself on is my ability to observe and assess or predict trends. And these trends usually pertain to politics, social trends, pop culture. You know, you guys have been watching these videos long enough. And in this case, again, I was right. Probably a little too late for this video. The election has come and gone. Everyone has said their piece. I'm probably one of the last ones. I mean, this thing should have probably been made a couple weeks ago, but I told you this isn't a daily or a weekly blog. This is a blog that takes place when I feel like it. And for those of you who've been waiting for this newest installment, sorry for the wait. Now, as I said, and you can go back in the past videos, as I told you, I said on this very channel and my other channels that Donald Trump had a chance at winning the election. Now let me be clear again, I did not vote for Donald Trump. I've told you over and over again, I do not vote for either one of these parties. I write in names. In this case, yes, I did write in Ron Paul's name. Call that a wasted vote if you want. I don't care. He's somebody I like. Just how it is. He's someone that I can feel confident or feel good about myself for voting, rather than just voting for something that was thrown in front of me. Now, having said that, this is not an endorsement of Donald Trump in any way. I'm just calling it like I see it. Never have I endorsed Donald Trump. There are some major factors, some major ideas that he has, major beliefs that I definitely disagree with. I'm not going to get into them now. There are a lot of things he says that I do agree with, but there are some major ones that I'm not down with. And that's why I wouldn't vote for someone like him. Ron Paul's got a couple things I might not groove with, but overall I feel I like him a little more. And again, I'm neither a conservative nor a liberal. I've addressed that in other videos. I'll address it again. Story for another day. At any rate, in case you didn't already know, let me explain to you liberals one more time, because some of you still don't get it. Some of you are getting it finally, some of you don't get it. And I'm helping you. I'm a generous God. I'm helping you out. I'm helping you for the next time, so don't get mad at me. Take this as some good advice, all you left-wing people. And again, I have a lot of left-wing beliefs. I, in many ways, am one of you. So this is an indictment of us, not just me throwing stones at you. Now, I warned there would be a backlash, and Donald Trump was that backlash. Millions of people, you must understand, millions of people who do not like Donald Trump, who do not care for him, who actually probably hate the guy, voted for him. As Michael Moore pointed out, right before the election finally took place, it wasn't that they were racist or bad people. In fact, a lot of minorities, as we see now, and a lot of women voted for him. It was the fact that these people were protesting. protesting what has been going on in this country for a long time now, whether that person be a Democrat or Republican, or those politicians or those groups of people. In this case, we had Barack Obama. This was a protest vote. Another thing you must understand is this. This was actually, you see, a lot of people complain, how come we don't have alternative parties or third parties? And one thing I pointed out, while I do feel this was the final result of a country that insisted on a two-party system, you also are having, you're seeing more and more people that are infiltrating the two-party system. In other words, you actually have third-party people, or alternative party people, running or masquerading as Democrats and Republicans. Bernie Sanders, who I knew about through a friend many years ago, and up here in Massachusetts, he's from Vermont, so I think many of us in New England who follow politics knew about him long before this election. Bernie Sanders was always an outside guy. Same with Donald Trump. You had two outside guys on both sides of the spectrum that, again, went in there as Democrats and Republicans. Donald Trump is a Republican, Bernie Sanders is a Democrat. Remember, both these people attacked both parties. What is the first thing Donald Trump did? He attacked the Republican Party. He laid out an indictment of the conservative movement, the Republican movement, the right-wing movement, and he took down all those other guys. That was the first thing he did. So it wasn't about right-wing versus left-wing. He assaulted the Republicans first, verbally assaulted, metaphorically. Likewise, Bernie Sanders did the same thing on the other end of the spectrum. So this was truly a protest vote against the status quo, as cliche as that sounds. But the big problem, the real reason, the major reason, which has not been talked about much, it's been kind of touched upon, I think, in some ways, but not nearly enough. And many of you who've been following me for a long time, you know where I'm going next. I consider myself a bit of a pop culture guru. I have a lot of blind spots, but the things I know about and the things I stay on top of, I'm pretty good. So, I check out a lot of what you would call, I guess, the daytime soccer mom shows, the shows that the house moms watch. Live with Regis and Kelly, although Kelly is by herself now, looking for a new host. The View. What's some other examples? I could go on and on. Let me give you at least one more example. Any of the really early morning shows, Good Morning America, all you know where I'm going with this. The network morning daytime entertainment talk shows that have been a fixture in America for many years. What I notice is this. These organizations, these television shows, have made a living, have made a fortune off of an entertainment industry which promotes the most vile, brutal, and disgusting views of women. You can take The View, you can take Live with Kelly, you can take any Good Morning America, any of those other shows that I mentioned. And I'm only mentioning 3, but there's a whole list of them. I'm just giving you 3 examples off the top of my head. Day after day after day, these shows have guests on that are promoting television shows, movies, music, etc., etc. And in these shows and these movies, as I pointed out, is the most vile, brutal portrayal of women. Disgusting portrayal, in my opinion. And you've got these people in the entertainment industry that after making this portrayal and pitching their movies and their what they call entertainment, then turning around and saying that Donald Trump is bad for women. All of these shows, well, I can say, for example, definitely The View and Live with Kelly. I remember when Jersey Shore was one of the biggest shows on the planet. This is a show where you've got these scrotum cramps running around, calling women every name in the book, laughing about sleeping with them. I mean, it was just earth-shattering to see the way girls were portrayed in these shows. And there's MTV, supposedly liberal MTV, you know, women's rights MTV, doing something for women, doing something for minorities, pushing cannabis legalization. And this is their platform in the 90s when I was growing up as a kid. This is what they were obsessed with. This is what they wanted to do. I'm not saying this is good or bad. I'm just saying that this was their platform. Now promoting a show, MTV that is, where girls are nothing but an object, and that behavior is applauded. I mean, it was just hateful the way those young men on that show spoke about their sexual endeavors. And the women of America got up and applauded, and nobody applauded more than these television shows, these morning American television shows, these daytime shows. I've seen Kelly and The View sit there and roll the red carpet out for the young men and young women that were the cast of these shows. Applaud them, high-five them, tell them how much they love their show, and never really addressing this agenda where the woman is there as a sexual object. I mean, you want to talk about rape culture, you need go no further than Jersey Shore. No further. Every one of these shows did this, and then they have the audacity to complain about penis jokes during the presidential election. You know, when Donald Trump's talking about the size of his hand in comparison to his pecker. Now, I'm not saying that's okay that he did that. I don't like the way Donald Trump speaks about women. But, ladies and gentlemen, the things that Donald Trump says about girls, while I don't like them, it is child's play compared to what is said on a show like Two Broke Girls, the now defunct 2.5 Men, Girls, the series Girls on HBO, which I watched 10 seconds of that once and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was borderline pornographic. I mean, you name the shows. I can go on and on. The movies, Wedding Crashes, American Pie, you know, kids going out and just going on sexual rampages. And again, laughing and mocking their achievements with the females. And the entertainment industry is silent. Crickets. Nothing is said. But yet, when Donald Trump said it, oh, watch out. He's going to be called out for it. Now, I believe that this was a factor in the election. I believe that a lot of women picked up on this. Again, I say this was brought up during the election in some of the political talk show circles. Not as much as I would have liked it to, but it was definitely touched upon, if nothing else. And I believe it was a factor. People saw finally the hypocrisy of the left wing and how they turn a blind eye to their own endorsement of the rape culture while attacking Donald Trump. Rightfully so, Donald Trump should be attacked. But why other areas do they ignore it? I mean, Jay-Z and Beyonce campaigning for Hillary. Now, I'm not even saying in the world of music that those two are even the worst examples where it comes to vulgar lyrics. I'm not going to go there because they're not. But still, she aligned herself with that world. Another thing I noticed, and nowhere did I see this more than on The View. Put it this way, during the election process, The View just became a constant battering ram, a constant exhausting ritual where all they did was attack Donald Trump. Day after day after day. Whoopi Goldberg and all the other women on that show just constantly, the minute the show starts, well, Donald Trump did this, Donald Trump did that. I believe people got sick of it. I believe people got wise to the fact that the show became a propaganda wheel for taking down Donald Trump. Now that show reaches a lot of people, a lot of women. It became obnoxious after a while, even if you liked Hillary Clinton, even if you didn't like Donald. At some point, it just became obnoxious. Constantly listening to these women ripping Donald Trump apart. And again, not that he didn't deserve it, but the bigger problem was this. And the whole media did this in general. Donald Trump is always putting his foot in his mouth. He says things that on their own you can figure out that he's got some social skill problems. But when you are attacking the guy every minute because he tied his shoe the wrong way, at some point people are going to get sick of it. There's going to be a backlash. People are going to say, what's going on here? Why is the media so one-sided? And they're going to go out and people are going to research on their own. And that's when you're going to find YouTube videos. You're going to find people like Alex Jones and alternative media. And that's not to say that there's not right-wing bias out there too. There are talk shows, Fox News. Yes, of course, it's the opposite end of the spectrum. You know, Hillary, if she ties her shoe the wrong way, they're going to be all over her. So it does go both ways. So I warned all of you this was coming. I warned you all that the left wing has had a tendency to bully people who don't think like them. In their quest to stop bullying and stop discrimination, they in many ways become the discriminators. I pointed this out. And I said, that's going to play a factor in this election. It's going to be their Achilles heel, and I was right. I was right. So for future reference to all you left-wing people, the constant attacking of the right wing, I would tone it down, or you're going to be faced with 8 years of Donald Trump. Just letting you know. Maybe this time you'll listen to me. Again, I'm helping you. I'm not attacking you. I'm not indicting you. I'm giving you some really good advice. Now I want to wrap up this video by addressing the right wing. As I've said, I don't like either party. I don't like either ideology. You both get fair treatment from me. I made a video, and thus the title of this one, as many of you know, called You're Irrelevant, in which I pointed out the right-wing, gun-toting American male conservative runs around with his American flags, goes on and on about freedom and the red, white, and blue, which I'm all for, don't get me wrong. When I was a little kid, I saluted the flag just like everyone else. Again, this is not an indictment, this is just an observation. They go on and on and on, but yet, just like with the left wing, this buffoon, this monkey, is selective in his beliefs. In other words, he goes on and on about freedom, but then says nothing while his wife or his girlfriend or his daughter is searched at a sporting event at an airport. Her pocketbook is going through, is looked through, her personal items. He acts like a protector. He does his chin-ups. He's out there. He's pounded. He's making it happen. But then when push comes to shove, he stands for nothing. I am not for violent revolutions. I do not advocate them. I just advocate educating yourself and making a move in a peaceful way while using your constitutional rights. I believe you witnessed a revolution with Donald Trump winning this election. That was the example of a peaceful revolution, and I'm proud of this country for doing that. So I'm not advocating any type of aggression. What I'm advocating is people stand up for themselves. Verbalize when there's a problem. Even if they can't change it, at least acknowledge there's a problem. And the alpha male American red, white, and blue savage has not done that. He hasn't done it. I do it every day. Every day I'm writing these articles, making these videos, speaking in front of people. I tried to pull my weight. I can proudly say that I did not sit back and say nothing while this is going on. But many of you buffoons at home have sat back and said nothing. In fact, as I pointed out before, many of you morons have criticized me. Now, we have a chance to make the country safe, supposedly. That was the platform of Donald Trump. The premise after September 11th for the loss of our freedoms, and to all you conservatives, your boy George Bush is the reason we lost a lot of those freedoms. George Bush and his Patriot Act. Let it be known. The conservatives are the reason they led the path for the Democrats to use the National Security Agency and all these other organizations to spy on us, read our emails, etc., etc. Okay? And you morons said nothing, but it was George Bush who allowed this to happen, not Barack Obama. Barack Obama just finished the job. Now, moving forward, if Donald Trump can keep this country safe from terrorism and all these other entities that we feel threaten our stability, our freedom, if he can do this, and I believe he will put a lot of things are going to change as far as in a positive manner. That I think he will do. Therefore, does that not mean then, or let me pose it as a question. If we find ourselves cracking down on terrorism and reducing it, and if in fact people who are here that do not have this country's best interest, if those people are indeed removed, and we can go back to how this country was before this whole spree of terrorism and September 11th, if we go back to those days, which I hope we do, therefore does that not mean then the security measures are now not needed? Here's my prediction. Because many of you alpha males at home, as I pointed out, you stand for nothing. If you truly stand for something, then when this country gets a grip on the terrorism problem, you alpha males will demand that the surveillance cameras that are on every street corner come down. You will demand that the naked body scanner cancer machines that you have allowed your women to walk through will be done away with. You will demand that your wives and girlfriends, which you love so much, will not have their pocketbooks looked through by strange men. They won't have their tampons and their makeup examined. You will demand that. If you truly stand for something, if you truly are about the Constitution, which you claim. These aren't my words, these are yours. This is you that made these claims. I'm just sitting here observing. That is the question. If we can return this country to the way it was, will these invasive procedures that have taken away our freedoms, the reading of our emails and whatnot, will that be reversed as well? I don't think so. In fact, I don't think the American male savage will even demand that it changes, because he's so used to this condition. He's got so much drool pouring down his chin at this point from watching Spike TV and the NFL, he won't even say anything. He won't even notice it. In other words, the terrorism will be diluted, but the security measures to fight that terrorism, when they become no longer needed, they will, however, stay in effect. That is my prediction. I hope I'm wrong. I truly do hope I'm wrong. If the terrorism goes, then the security measures need to go too. And again, I say this. This is not an anti-police rant. I am not out to criticize those people that are trying to keep us safe, quote unquote. This is not an indictment of them. It's more an indictment of the people, the citizens who don't question it. As I've said before, don't blame the government, don't blame your leaders, blame yourself. I'm done blaming the government, I blame the people. We let this happen. Now, this is it for this video. I'm going to have more, but it could be, we went a good couple months here before the last one. It could be a while. If I feel like doing another video next week, I'll do it. If I don't feel like doing another video till July, then that's when we'll do it. We do it when I feel like it. There's no consistency in when these come out. You can check out my live performances. You can go to my websites. My articles are out there if you can find them. I'm not one of the more well-known commentators. I'm a little more underground. The media does not recognize me. They don't know. They don't care. I am one little grain of sand on a beach. So you have to go out and find me. You're not going to run into me by accident. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you liked this video. And last but not least, I will say there have been other videos where I had topics that I wanted to get to later on, and I said I would address them and then never really got to them. That may happen more and more. With the inconsistency of these videos, I can't guarantee that I'm always going to get back to a topic that I claimed that I would address. Sometimes I don't even remember that I even said it. So I just do the best I can to keep up with whatever I promised I would address, but it's not always going to happen. That's it for today. Thank you again. Thanks to Joe for filming, and we will see you next time. Thank you very much.